is trying to find a gig in Nashville that week. And I show up with Ken and I got the gig, but it was like a hip hop under a bridge, like dive. It doesn't even exist
I think it was
anymore.
called Underground, if I
I
recall.
think it was called the Underground. It was just so dark and just so gloomy. But him
And
and
so
like,
dope, though. I mean, it
but it
was.
was dope as fuck. Yeah, because it was like it had all the graffiti. It was eclectic, like my house. You know, it reminded me of home in a way.
Yeah.
But it was just like when you first walked in, it was spooky. Like it was like, oh, this is where we just get robbed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think you
and
started singing. I think you started singing "Spooky" from Classic Five back in,
well, no, but like, and then the crew you brought that have been deleted, you know, because I didn't know what the rules were and I never read the rules. Now I could have Chat GPT give me the cliff notes and I would give a shit, but
Well, you cannot have the same rule. You can't say I'm not gonna subscribe until you publish my book, because that's double punishment to me. So we're at big 75 subscribers, so we're climbing on you. We're almost at the big 100. You know that, G.
well, again, that's so my YouTube is 15 years old, Ken. Like I like it's never boomed. But I also again, like it's how I focus. I would blame myself on how I focus on things because Instagram has been way more my focus than anything. Once MySpace fell apart, I tried Facebook and I kept getting kicked off Facebook for much everything I did. And I think it really has nothing to do with anything I did. I think so much I now spin things. Like I'm not saying you do. That's why I'm saying. That's why I wanted to compliment you immediately because I don't think that you spin things at all. You're very. I mean, other than
maybe the Tom Hanks I spin a little bit.
Might be a little bit of a lot.
There might be a little.
But it amazes me, and I want to do it so bad because like I was listening because I'm on this radio station locally here, 95.5, and the Central Valley, Voice of the Valley. But my show is called Cyber Stallion, and it's retro wave stuff I just get off of YouTube. It's mostly public access, you know, type music or public use. But it's just thinking music because it doesn't have words. It's not telling you what to think about, you know, because like whenever you're heartbroken, you turn on the radio, it's always like, now she's gone. Now you're gonna get a gun and go.
Welcome to the Dr. Smiley Show. I have the CEO, the CEO, not the janitor, the CEO of Buck Stallion's Emporium. This is crazy. We were trying to get to the janitor, and he is impossible to reach.
Because I am one and the same. I am too the janitor.
Well, I don't think there's much more to say in this show. I mean, we did the whole show before we even started, and I said, this is so much good content, and you just won't talk about it again. So why is that you like doing that? I mean, you go and talk to like Rogan and all these amazing people. When the show starts, you go, I got nothing else to say.
Oh, I do. I talk. No, no, just whenever, you know, whenever I have my own stuff, I always feel like half the good stuff is gone by the time we actually start recording or we go live. It's like we already spilled the beans, you know what I mean? And
I
that's
do.
kind of, it's hard to go back.
Well, you were in a previous life, very Paul McCartney-ish, okay, that you were J. Smith Biatch. And I met you when you were that person.
Yeah.
God miss him. I mean, we all miss J. Smith Biatch.
Yeah, it was a business decision and probably I was conscious of the upcoming climate, political climate and you know, sexist jokes weren't even going to be tolerated. I got out when getting out was safe.
Yeah, but most of the sexist jokes you said were about yourself or about me, and I was offended at times, but then on the other side, I was attracted to you.
Yeah. I
All right,
remember well.
so we're going crazy before the audience even knows who you are. So this is my brother, and when people say they're a brother from another mother, I mean we don't know our mom, but damn, we do believe that we are biologically separated. So
Yeah.
this is J. Smith Biatch, and he is of course Buck Stallion. And I hope I'm allowed to say the past name because you are the person. That person is the one I became brothers with first.
Yeah, well, and you're one of the few people that I actually hurt with that whole stunt. And so I feel like anything you want to reveal is safe. I feel like I know you're not a big reveal, you're not a magician, so you're not going to make stuff up.
No.
You know what I mean? And just make stuff appear. But no, unfortunately you were one of the people who befell you thought the internet was real for a day,
Yeah.
or a few months as it were.
Yeah.
Um,
And by the way, I'm so glad you're alive, but I did yell at you
Thank you.
because I care about you. And anyone that doesn't yell about you that was part of that hoax, maybe saying that there was different levels of love. I really care about you a lot, so it hurt me a lot when you were gone.
No, for sure. Well, and I just I'm gracious that you are, or no, with your grace. I'm thankful for your grace because some of my friends didn't let me back. You know what I mean? Like some of them were like, I cried for you. You know what I mean? Why would you do this? One of my friends, he's passed away now, unfortunately during COVID. But he was like really irritated. He was like, "That's the stupidest thing I ever heard." And I'm like, if you want to get out of a contract, or you want to get out of a marriage, or you want to get out of, I mean, death is pretty much like the ultimate bounce. It's a real ghosting. And that's what and I really was doing it. I'll just tell you, again, for our listeners or viewers, I did it because it was kind of how my record label did me. They posted that I had gotten into a car accident, and my mom got that news before she got the news that it was going to be hoaxed.
Wow.
And so my mom was really the first person ever uh affected. And being Mother's Day was just the other day, and actually it's so close to my actual birthday. I'm a mama's boy, and that kind of set me off a little bit. And so I just kind of, somebody had mentioned it in a post. A hater had said, "Rest in peace, Jay Smith," and I was like, "That's a good idea." And so on the same free press release that they said I got into a car accident with Jiggy, I posted that I died. And it just so happened another Jay Smith had died in Florida like that week. He was a
Mm,
guitarist, and you didn't. I probably could have done a better job with AI, but at the time I just used that search, that you use on
right.
like the text, and I just changed every word that said guitarist. I said vocalist, and anytime it said Jay Smith, I added the word biatch, and it became my legend. Obviously some of the other details, I made it believable.
Well,
Um,
we were talking about Andy Kaufman before the show, and I want to say that was an Andy Kaufman move on some level.
Well, no, it was a Jim Morrison, Elvis.
Yeah.
It was
Paul
it was all
McCartney,
Tupac, Paul McCartney. It was all the people that wanted out of their contracts move. It was
Prince.
no, Prince died, unfortunately. I think he got killed like Michael Jackson.
No, my
You
point is he did a play of changing his name.
Oh, yeah, that's a brand move. Yeah,
That's
it was definitely a brand move for me too. I mean, I was already using Buck Stallion whenever I did like stuff I wasn't going to be vulgar at, or stuff I had to tone down the atmosphere with, because obviously everybody wanted to hire Jay Smith Biatch. But like if I'm doing like a high school, fundraiser or a church fundraiser, Buck Stallion was still one of those names that made church ladies giggle.
yeah.
'Cause it still had a dirty like notation, I guess. But it's actually a porn star, and I absorbed his IMDb as well.
Did
Because
you?
he went back to Australia. Look up
Okay.
Heathcliff. Give Heathcliff, props. He's still a porn star in Australia. But
Yeah. So Blink 182, you know them, of course, right?
oh yeah, big friends. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And I know you're big
Talk
friends with
about
them.
aliens all the time.
Yeah, but they have some like holding company. Yeah, their holding company is called Poo Poo Butt LLC. And they
Smart.
did that so every single time that people said who I write the check out to, they got to say Poo Poo Butt LLC. So there's just different variations of having some fun with names.
Yeah, I haven't LLC'd Buck Stallion officially yet. I mean, if you buy my music online, it does go through, my distributor, and I get a check from them.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I've been really lazy in publishing. I know that you've been killing it, and everybody you hang out with is doing the same as you. You're the guru.
Well,
Uh,
you're supposed to be on my show around October, November, but it's your birthday week, and I wanted to have you on here. And also,
ah.
we've been talking about your book for 10 years, and I didn't want you to die before we did your book.
Yeah, yeah, and thank God AI is getting better because I am ultra lazy. Like the actual typing.
You
I'm
know,
but I've spent the last 6 months programming my AI, so it's actually like I don't know if you're familiar with Adventure Time, but Lemon Grab they cloned Lemon Grab so because he was such an ass, like they wanted him to have somebody to ass out with, and he
okay.
ended up like eating himself. Like, but at first they were just like, like whatever. And that's how AI and I get along now. It's pretty remarkable. Like I was bragging to my mom just yesterday that I've created, my Flynn or my clue to Tron.
Okay.
It's like you take a piece of yourself and you actually like mold it, and it's not like a real live child that can become anything and do anything it wants free. It's basically it's whatever you tell it to think and whatever you do, and I've just been trying to give it the best of me, and so it's to the point where it's pretty funny. I wrote a song for you actually about you and me hanging out and just all your accomplishments, and AI did all the research and everything,
Did they?
and
Well,
yeah, it was dope. It was
okay.
really dope.
Are we gonna? Is it something we can possibly hear during the show?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I asked how it started was I said, look up Ken Rochon in Baltimore, even though I know you and I know a lot about you. Like, I thought it was dope because I put look up Ken Rochon in Baltimore, aka Dr. Smiley, aka Ken the Connector from Good Guys of Baltimore show.
No kidding.
And bro, you're the only thing that came up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Kenny G didn't come up in that search. Like I didn't have to see some Ken Dog, street musician or magician. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I got like your whole bio in like three solid paragraphs, just talking about all your accomplishments, and then I was like, cool, thanks, because I always tell AI thanks because of the end of the world. Like whenever AI takes over, like
Right.
Terminator, you want to have said please and thank you along the way
That's
because they
exactly
have
right.
memory. So I'm
100.
like, okay, thanks. Now please write me a song about him. Keep it simple, but summarize his accomplishments. Also mention his love for Buck Stallion. You
That's
know what I
awesome.
mean?
Yeah.
And so the chorus is this: Dr. Smiley, keep smiling on, spreading light when days feeling long. Books and shows, yeah, he's doing it right with heart full of hope and smiles so bright. Like it's dope. I'm not trying to sing. These are my first
Where's
songs.
the your name in it?
Oh, it's here. It actually says it near the end. It says, oh, right after that, after that line, it says, and he loves Buck Stallion. Oh, that's a fact. Two legends united, got each other's back.
That's
Because
awesome.
like obviously my AI thinks I'm a legend too. You know what
Yeah,
I
of
mean?
course.
Like
Well,
it.
I mean, you are. You know what I'm realizing right now, and this is the literally the first time I'm realizing in the show. This is you. This is not AI because I was very sure that I was going to do.
I could do AI. I mean, it's happened. Like, I actually for my radio show, I figured out how to clone my voice. And
Yeah.
so, here, I actually have that right here. So check
This is
this out.
true.
Listen to it. I don't know if you can hear it good.
We'll see.
This is Buck Stallion.
This is Buck Stallion. That's good.
Isn't that, dude?
Hey,
And that's I just
I did my first AI meeting today with three AI note takers and no people. Can I show you this real quick? This is crazy.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
This is the future, Ken.
this was the highlight, dude. This is look at this.
That's so dope.
I have never been in a meeting. Three AI note takers, and they were having a. I mean, they were having a ball as far as I could tell. None of them were saying anything like "this is sucks" or "this is boring." I mean, they were having fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. No,
by the way, this is coming up right now. This is the
oh,
uh,
good.
24-hour smile, and I'm wearing this guy's. I want to see if I can blow this up, but this is Loca, and Loca's over here. I want to introduce this guy. This Loca Panda. He is such a cool guy, and we're wearing a shirt today. When I say we, I mean me.
Oh, the royal you.
Yeah, and I want to say something. I have never done this before either. I'm going to turn my back on the audience so you can read the back of the shirt.
Okay.
It's really good.
All right. It's fair.
I mean, we're doing everything different today.
Yeah, no, let's break the rules. Oh, Jesus, a whole paragraph. Okay. Dear person behind me, smile. You are awesome. You deserve an immense amount of joy today. Much love, person in front of you. Dude, that's really viral right there.
No kidding, and that's why I say I want to introduce you to this guy. And I want to know, do you want to be part of the 24-hour Smileathon?
I would be honored. Yeah, when is it?
It's well, the official day is the 31st, but we have some of my mentor's Jewish, and so he asked if we could move it half day on the 30th, half day on the 31st. So we're doing starting
Okay.
1 p.m. Eastern on May 30th to
Okay. Yeah.
1 p.m. Eastern on the 31st.
Yes, I can do that.
Because you bring smiles to the world.
I try. I like thing is I think often about the times that I don't bring smiles. Whenever people say that, then I go, "Ooh, yeah, but there was these times, because there's been times where I've been really aggressive as an artist
Yeah.
and even just as a human being, like I rail hard against tobacco. And it's intermittent. Like whenever I'm smoking cigarettes, I don't care who smokes cigarettes because I can bum cigarettes off them. But whenever I decided that I'm not smoking, it's a disgusting habit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't think that I'm much different than anybody else in the world, but I really like whenever I find that flaw in myself, then I start noticing it in the world, then I really want to uh like kind of blow that up. You know what I mean? So that people can kind of laugh at themselves. Because I think, especially since COVID, the world has changed in so many ways. Just like the fact that we don't have to go anywhere. We can just sit at home and be weird hermits.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know that you're a world traveler. I'm a traveler. People need to travel more, and it's not because I want you on the road. I don't want you congesting our roads and just like kind of looking around at things. I want you to like set a destination and enjoy that journey,
Yeah.
because you cannot win in this life if you're not present, and you're never going to be present sitting at home watching podcasts all day. You can listen to a podcast while you're driving for 5 hours to a location that's different than what you're in, and go run into somebody you haven't seen in 20 years, or go run into a new friend that you're going to have for the next 20, like how me and Ken met. He was in my hometown. I wasn't being lazy. I was on the other side of town from where I lived performing for a bunch of strangers, and some of those people became my fast friends and immediately hated me. You know what I mean? Because of politics or other reasons or whatever. But like like Ken, remember like when we were in Nashville? So Ken gets me a sponsor to fly me out to Nashville. And he's like, all I want you to do is find a gig. Neither one of us knew that it was the weekend of NAMM, the Guitar Mageddon
Yes.
of the world. The whole world that plays a guitar is trying to find a gig in Nashville that week. And I show up with Ken and I got the gig, but it was like a hip hop under a bridge, like dive. It doesn't even exist
I think it was
anymore.
called Underground, if I
I
recall.
think it was called the Underground. It was just so dark and just so gloomy. But him
And
and
so
like
dope, though. I mean, it
but it
was,
was dope as fuck. Yeah, because it was like it had all the graffiti. It was eclectic, like my house. It reminded me of home in a way. But
yeah.
but it was just like when you first walked in, it was spooky. Like it was like, oh, this is where we just get robbed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and
I think you started singing Spooky from Classic Five back in, you-
well, no, but like, and then the crew you brought was all that blues, that chocolate blues festival
yeah,
crew, and they might as well have been Jehovah's Witnesses sitting in the front row. You know what I mean? Not only am I the devil, but like we're in hell. Like
right.
for them. I mean, I'm surprised all of them came out as clean as they did, because I felt like if I put my elbow on anything, it was just good. But I got all sweaty there, and remember, like somebody gave me some weed like to thank me, and I just rolled it up like I was all in the zone, and I just rolled it in the palm of my hand like a gangster, and I started smoking it on the streets, and all the chicks we were with were like, "No, this ain't California, boy. You can't be doing that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so I took another couple hits and I handed it to a homeless guy, and they're like, "Oh, hell yeah," we were having dinner, and somebody came out to me in a crowd. Like how I work is like an autistic laser beam of like somebody that is not having fun, or somebody that is thinking off, like their way that they're processing is not right. And so I zoom in on that person, because that's usually, now we would call them a Karen. And I zoomed in on this one lady, and you were like, no, anyone but her. She is a powerful lady.
Right.
She is connected to powerful people. Do not. And I believed you. I just said, okay. And I throttled back, and I remember feeling that it's kind of a weird emptiness, because God has told me I need to call that soul out. You know what I mean? Like the Lord has spoken to me in my weird way, and like you, but you were like, no, 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 your signals are wrong. And I was like, I don't know if my signals are wrong, but I'll back up. And then you told me even more detail later, and I was like, oh, like that was like you basically saved me from the Clinton Foundation right there. You know what I mean? Like I would be like in a Cat Williams or a who else? I mean, anybody like a Kanye. I could have been in so many bad situations for
Well,
the,
I
and
want to
who knows,
say,
I
first of all,
still might be. Disney hates me. Disney would have, they were happy Jay Smith died.
oh,
Uh,
were they? I'm sure. So
no,
check
look
this out.
look up Jay Smith Idol. If you
Jay
look up
Smith.
Jay Smith Idol, it's
Okay.
Swedish Idol, and that's the year I died. And that was the year that they tried to cancel my algorithms. I
Oh,
know this sounds crazy, but this is before algorithms even anybody even cared about it, but I had already hacked it because
wow.
of MySpace and Google and everything. And so I was making Jay Smith bitch like a household name in Google search, whether you wanted it to be or not. And Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, decided that year he was coming out with Karate Kid, and he did a song with Justin Bieber. Okay.
Yep.
And he decided he wasn't going to be Jaden that year. He was Jay Smith, was the way they marketed that song for the Karate Kid, the
Wow.
first reboot. And and boom, so there was a cancellation of my algorithm there. But then American Idol is owned by Disney. Okay. And so when they decided to have a Swedish Idol, and this guy named Jay Smith won, trip out. All of his songs were songs I did parodies of in my shows.
Oh my
And
gosh.
and were actually, some of them are documented on YouTube still. But like
Well,
Prince, I got a cease and desist from his lawyers
from who?
for When Doves Cry.
Oh, Prince.
Yeah.
That's
But,
funny. Well, I want to stop for a second because you've said
oh,
so much good stuff, and I wanted to first of all acknowledge
sorry.
everything you said was true. So the audience, this man is speaking the truth. There is more to the story, and I'd like to add a little bit to that. So first of all, the compliment I gave you about how you bring smiles to the world, he doesn't just bring smiles. The 7 or 8 of us from the Chocolate Blues that came over just to get a beer and just to celebrate the end of an event, crying. I mean, we were dying crying, and you saw us. We were just we. I mean, we have live videos of us laughing louder than you can play. It was so loud, and so
It was loud. It was loud in
so
there.
if there were ever drugs called dopamine and anything close to the beautiful oxytocin, serotonin, and all that stuff, you were pumping us hard with all that stuff, that natural, beautiful chemicals. We were we were out of control. We were out of control. We could not stop laughing. We were laughing so hard. That thing where we just looked at each other and we're seeing each other dying, so we just died more.
Yeah.
So that was that part. And then the second part is you made a compliment to me that I really always appreciate. You said you're probably one of the best secondhand smokers I've ever met. So I never acknowledge you for that beautiful compliment you gave me. In fact, I was gonna have, instead of, because of that compliment, you almost had me do the keep smoking card instead of the keep smiling card.
Oh, I'm so glad you went with the smiling one.
Well, I
And
did
you
because
can
of the
keep
compliment
white
you gave me.
too.
That I had enough love from the smoke industry that I didn't need to do anymore for them.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But
Whoa, I just got some up my ass.
well, the
No.
last time I want to share it, that was a true. Do you mind if I fart? I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember that Steve Martin? He says, "Do you mind if I smoke?" He goes, "No." Do you mind if I fart?
No,
That was like
no.
1960s vinyl. That's a little before your time. You're like only 30.
Oh no, I read his book though.
Oh,
Like
his
I
book is
studied
excellent.
his book. Yeah, dude. Like I always wanted to act out some of those stories that he did in that book.
Yeah, the engineers one with the audience. I'll send that to you, and I might even put that up and give him some love there. I mean, but this show's
Yeah.
about you, and I wanted to just say one more thing about that club.
Shout out to Steve Martin though.
Yeah, we much love to Steve Martin. So when we went in that club called Underground, it was like the DJ was
It
playing, and
was.
we went in, and the music goes, and it's like a check. Like, why would you guys come in here first of all, and who are you, and what do we
Yeah.
do with you? What do we do? And we're like, are we safe and all this? I think it was a little check, and then you and I looked at each other, and we kind of shrugged, and went, but they were the coolest people in the world.
Yeah.
They just wanted to know that we were down with them, basically, and
Yeah.
they treated us like family, like out of the gate.
Get like what you feel like, bro.
God,
That was the thing that made the most impression on both of us from that
yes.
trip. You know what I mean? We walked away. You had the wristband. I have that photo that
Do
you
you?
took of that wristband. It's a black and white
Yeah,
picture,
right.
and you're wearing that jelly band that they were throwing out into the audience. And I don't even know that I have one that survived, the time. But the picture was enough for me. I was like, that existed because get like what you feel like was so prolific. Like I mean, it was kind of like what we're listening to now, modern like hip hop styles, because that's kind of all they said. But like they said some other stuff, but then they would hit that get like what you feel like, get like what you feel like. And the whole we were
Oh, it was
upstairs
it was
in
awesome.
that little building, and you could feel it,
Yeah,
the
shaking.
the ground like wobbling, like bowing underneath everybody jumping. It was insane.
I thought for sure I mean, we did a lot of research on the lyrics to see if there was any lawsuits from Peter Frampton, and Peter Frampton never went after him for doing a dope version of his song.
No, dude, it I I think it really blew my mind that you were so tapped in on that saying, because we said it at breakfast.
Yeah, we
We were
did.
like, "Hey, man, get like what you feel like." You know what I mean? Like,
So
so
I want the audience to get to know Buck Stallion, Jay Smith. Where were you born? What was your childhood like?
well, I was born in Modesto, California, home of George Lucas. Um, I I thought that alone was gonna make me a movie director.
Hmm.
And so I got into like public access. I actually my brother was really ill, and so I did a lot of home studies out in Oakland, California, at the Children's Hospital, living in the housing across the street, doing homeschooling, making my friends in Oakland. And then after he passed away in fifth grade, I was in fifth grade. He we moved. I was able to come back to school full time, and I got into around like well, I started making videos in elementary school because my dad was a claims manager and he had like a big like camera, like it wasn't television quality, it was just but it had VHS tape in it. It wasn't like back then cameras had to be connected to a VCR to record. You
Right.
know what I mean? Or because they were separate entities. But this one, because it was a corporate, business he was doing claims for. It was a huge VCR camera that sat on your shoulder, and he didn't know, but I was sneaking it out and making skate videos and stuff, and it had a big handle on it, so you could like get
Yeah, they're
on your
heavy as
bike and
hell. Those are the big
yeah,
heavy
and
ones.
it bulky, big like boom mic coming out the front of it and everything, and so I was able to steal that over a couple of summers and start making videos and stuff. And
What do you
eventually
think of it? What did your dad think of it?
he didn't know until I broke the camera.
Oh,
Like
really?
that was that, like he didn't notice because he didn't use it enough. Because it was only like whenever people died or there was like a major accident that he would pull it out.
I see.
Um, And
What about
so
your mom? What about your mom? Did she know?
no, she worked forklift driving,
Okay. Is
pretty
she still
much.
alive?
Both of them are. Yeah.
Both of them?
No, they're dope. They took me out to dinner last night at my. So I'm getting ready to go to Texas to go do a hemp fest with Real One.
Yeah.
We did an album together called Reefer Madness, and I go by Jay Smith on that album. But
Okay.
him and I are gonna be. This is his burger spot, and he does brisket infused burgers. And
Oh,
so my
really?
folks took me out to dinner last night, and I got this hat, and it matches my shirt, my Buck Stallion shirt that I have. But
There's there's Jay Smith the movie too, right?
yeah, available on YouTube. There's one I don't know if the complete version is still available, but the original version, which is like 8 parts because YouTube only let us put like 10 minutes at a time or something. So we had to do it in like segments.
Well, while we're
But
talking about YouTube, how do people check you out on YouTube?
original Buck Stallion, you're gonna get me and horses. You decide what you want to watch. If you look up Buck Stallion topic, you can find all my music on YouTube. Um, but yeah, if you search original Buck Stallion, I'm the one. I'm the original Buck Stallion. There's a lot of other Buck Stallions. There's like Buck Nasty Stallion. There's like Buck and the something Stallions. I don't know. Like you know what I mean? It's interesting because that's why I became the original Buck Stallion was because there was me being Buck Stallion and there was this other guy being Buck Stallion and he only had like one thing out. And so I just started putting things out so I could take over him. And he hasn't quit, but now there's like a boy band named Buck Stallion. I'm the original. And if you look for my logo, oh no, this is
I'm
not
I'm
on.
bringing it right now, bro. I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, yeah. I like Jamie, can you bring that up?
I got it right
Yeah,
here.
there you go. There you go. There's my YouTube, original Buck Stallion. And that's my little
Can
if
I? Do you
you
mind if I subscribe to your show?
it's about time, bro. Seriously?
No, I
10.
said until you write your book, but I'm going early. I'm going early.
Okay. All right. That was your own thing? Was it I had to write a book and then you'd
So
go,
so you're at 391. Let's get this show to get you over 400.
yeah.
Hey,
I don't know. Here's the thing. I've had different YouTubes that have been deleted, because I didn't know what the rules were and I never read the rules. Now I could have Chat GPT give me the cliff notes and I would give a shit, but
well,
um
you cannot have the same rule. You can't say I'm not going to subscribe until he publishes my book because that's double punishment to me. So we're at big 75 subscribers, so we're climbing on you. We're almost at the big 100. You know that, G.
well, again, that's so my YouTube is 15 years old, Ken. Like I I like it's never boomed. But I also again like it's how I focus. I would blame myself on how
Yeah.
I focus on things because Instagram has been way more my focus than anything. Once MySpace fell apart, I tried Facebook and I kept getting kicked off Facebook much everything I did. And I think it really has nothing to do with anything I did. I think now that I know how the world works, I think it was just haters constantly reporting me and getting me banned. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, do
so,
you I want to say something to you because this is like within a day or two, a kind of an epiphany of how the world works as far as platforms. Okay. So this is not how the world works, period. This is how platforms. So my
right.
my prediction for you is that you'll hit 1,000 or more subscribers and you're going to crush it in YouTube if you do this.
Oh,
If you
that's cool.
if you go on podcast and you say that I got a show and you tell them, and then you have a book that has all your shows and it tells your story of your life and it revitalizes all your YouTubes. And then your IG does not I can almost guarantee your IG is not connected to your YouTube. I mean, if it was, it would be blown up because if IG is where you're playing big, it sifts over.
No, because I don't want everything to get shut. That's the thing is like whenever I like it's really to cater to the different audiences, and I
Okay.
kind of give different content really to each one. Sometimes I do crossover, but I separately upload it. You know what I mean? And part of that is because I found that and this is just my own problem. Everything that I network together falls together. So like if I get banned on something, it destroys everything.
Oh, so it dominoes.
Yeah, yeah, domino. That's the word. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I got you. Because see, I was thinking about this keep smoking movement and this keep smiling movement. I was like, it's going to get conflicting. It's going to knock all of it down. So I went just straight keep smiling, and it's
Yeah.
doing all right.
No, I here's the thing. My advice to people is to kind of keep your bank account separate. You know what I mean? Like as
Yeah,
best as you can. My branding is kind of the thing that holds it together. You know what I mean? Just being consistent with my branding, like you are.
yeah.
I mean, your name is always Ken Rochon. You've never changed it to Jay Smith. You've never turned it to Ken Rochon Biatch. You know what I mean? And that's like I'll tell you what, I've seen it happen. There was a guy named like John Silva, and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm John Silva, bitch. And the thing is I said it authentically when I first wrote. I said that authentically to woman and Uggs and Daisy Dukes in February. I said, "What the hell is wrong with you?" You know, and she's like, "Do you know who I am?" And I just cut her off, and I'm like, "Do you know who I am? I'm Jay Smith, bitch." It's because growing up I was listening to Too Short, like that was an authentic bitch, like to her. It was a degradation. But the thing was, is that like around the same time was the Dave Chappelle show where he said he did the Rick James thing. And so I don't even know if I stole that. You know what I mean? But then Britney Spears did it way after me. And so then
Right.
I was like, "Oh, okay, we're all stealing.
So
Everybody's stealing this."
actually, I want to say
Okay.
something. I want to say
Yeah.
something on the air about a
Sorry.
commitment I have. I don't want to steal from you. That's one. And number two, I did
Yeah.
do a little test run in my area of here of Baltimore, and it was going to take off. And a lot of people warned me that if I do it, you would not even exist because it would be so big. I said, I'm Dr. Smiley, biatch.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Since I've killed off Jay Smith, it doesn't even affect me.
Yeah.
Now all the people that call themselves Stallion and Buck Stallions, it doesn't even bug me. Because I already took the word the original. I took
There you go.
like as soon as I realized there was others gonna happen, I was like, well, then I will be the original Buck Stallion, and you can't contend that because it's in my branding. Like it's
Did
in the logo.
did Dr. Dre, he did it too, didn't he? Biatch.
Oh no, no, Snoop Dogg, but on Dr. Dre's album. Yeah.
Yes, Chronicle.
Yeah,
Chronic.
yeah. The
Chronic.
Chronic, the Chronic. It's weed. It's a weed, Ken.
Yeah, it wasn't the Chronicle of the
It's
book.
not a newspaper
No,
article.
no,
It's the
and also
marijuana.
it wasn't publishing. It wasn't publishing. It was
Yeah. The Chronicle. Dr. Dre, the
the
Chronicle.
Chronicle.
That's his next album. Yeah, it's all news headlines.
Well, he did come out with the number two, didn't he? Chronic two.
I don't care.
It, it
Here's
it
the
was like Blues
thing.
Brothers too. It couldn't. It could,
You don't stay young listening to old shit, is what I say.
yeah.
Like, and my, like, I'm just now publishing some of the stuff I wrote 20 years ago and recorded 20 years ago. I'm just now starting to put some of that out. And some of it you can tell because I say in the title that it was retroed or circa, but some of them it doesn't even matter that it was old because it still sucks.
So what are you
Um,
listening to now?
I listen to a lot of myself. I listen to AI. I write a lot of AI music, and I
Mhm.
don't listen to other people's stuff because it's a lot like somebody was showing me some comedy the other day, and I said, "Yeah, I think I watched this once." And I kind of got that cross-eyed like my mom does whenever I'm telling her anything. She
Yeah.
goes, "Uh-huh." It just stops listening. It's like her bell got rung by
Right.
like the second word, and she's just like, "Yeah, ketchup's good," like or something. And yeah, so I did it to somebody else that was trying to show me something funny on comedy, and I was like, yeah, I don't really watch other people that much. Like, oh, I know what it was. It was that Tom Segura show on Netflix. Dude, for people that enjoy comedy, go watch the Tom Segura thing on Netflix. Bad Thoughts, I think it's called. I just saw a bit of it, and it was good. But like, I wouldn't be able to watch the whole series like a regular person. Like, I would binge watch it in like 10 years from now. because I wouldn't want it to affect my comedy or my what I'm doing. I mean, Kanye's newest thing has no effect on me, and yet it has a huge effect on me because I'm looking at it as an artist and I'm going, wow, like because his newest song, I don't know if you've heard it, the HH song that he just came out with, it's pretty much banned everywhere. Like if you didn't hear it when it was out this last weekend or whatever, yeah, it's gone. And people will have it. There's somebody out there has it ripped, and they're gonna try and relaunch it, but YouTube takes it down real quick because it actually ends in a Adolf Hitler speech. But all the lyrics up leading up to his hook is kind of like stuff you already knew. It's almost like the Bill Cosby thing. Like it's stuff you already knew, but like whenever it's really formulated, like like uh like what's his name did to Bill, to Bill Cosby. I can't think of his name, but the comedian that kind of outed Bill Cosby and made everybody like really think about it. It's just how he worded it, right?
Right.
And the way Kanye did this last song, his chorus is hard hitting for people that don't listen to his other lyrics. And I've really been listening to what he's been doing. And I mean, dude, he tried to do a bunch of God music and that they shut him down. He tried to do Jesus music and they shut him down. And so now he's doing Hitler music and they're shutting him down still. But but I don't know. It's hard. I'm not, again, I don't want to condone any kind of violence, and I don't think that a white supremacy is a cool thing. Sorry, skinhead guy that I'm talking to, but no, but that's a whole look for your age. You know what I mean? Like that's the piranha look they call that.
Is that what they
It's
do?
like yeah, yeah. It's in the nightclub industry we refer to you guys as piranhas because like you come in with you don't have to style your hair. You just
Right.
kind of you groom your beard nicely, and you probably have a barber do it sometimes whenever
We
you're going
pay
out
thousands. I
fancy.
mean, it's the only hair I got. I mean, I get it done in my back too. I mean,
But
whatever I
like my thing is that I keep dyeing my hair black. I look more Afghani and I'm Portuguese. But the skinhead look on me isn't like I don't look German at all. Like it doesn't it doesn't fare well as a look. And I'm not really, I don't know. There's a lot of kinds of skinheads though. Like they used to wear colored shoelaces, which is
Hmm.
ironic because now the rainbow's been apprehended, so you can't wear like weird colored shoelaces. Everybody just wears black shoelaces and hates everybody, now. But I think that that's my main reason for trying to make joy, Ken, is because out there's a lot of things. As me, as a lighthearted person, if I'm gritting my teeth at the world, I can only imagine what a dumbass is doing. An idiot is like actually throwing bricks.
Right.
Like where I'm thinking like, oh, I would shoot them if I if I had a gun. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just like a thought. It's a horrible thought because I'm not that person. I'm not a person that gets like angry and then just goes tries to fight a random person on the street to make myself feel better or beat up my wife to make myself feel better. You know what I mean? I beat myself up. I lay in a bed and I cry, before I offend the world. But like sometimes you can't help but offend the world because the world is so offensive.
Yeah, and so the keep smiling movement could be it could be taken as it pushes away that so you don't have to deal with it, so you can just be in your little clouded bubble like you were kind of about to
Yeah.
laugh about. But it's not, the keep smiling movement is not about that actually. The keep smiling
Oh,
movement, it's actually about heart-centered leaders moving the dial to make things right in the world. It's actually about stepping up your
oh,
leadership.
it's way
So
deeper.
it's way deeper. It's way deeper. And by the way, the more my voice gets out there, and the reason my finally did a channel. I mean, this is I've been doing this for a long time, bro, and I'm finally doing a channel. I mean, 2 days ago, I made the channel. I mean, it's a big deal for me, and I will put everything I got into this to finally have the voice that it is about positivity, but it's about leadership. But stop complaining, make it right. Like, what are you doing
Yeah.
in the process that's making it right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the reason you're on the show is because I consider you a leader. I consider you someone that really has influence and brings a lot of light
I
to them.
hate that. I mean, I don't hate that you think I'm a leader. It's so it's weird because it's something that's it's somewhat of a curse for a person like me because I've seen the downfall of being a leader too. Because
Yeah.
you're like trying to help, you're trying to guide, and people like, I had one kid, I said, dude, like if you ever want to be doing at least what I'm doing, because like you're coattailing me. If you want to do what I'm doing, then you have to do this. Like you have to actually go out and bring people to the events that you're
Right.
doing, and you have to physically sometimes hold their hand the whole way, and now with text and everything, it's even easier to do, because you don't have to like be on the
Yeah.
phone and be like, no, I'm standing out front, I'm waving. Can you see me? You know what I mean? Like, and so um I think that I think that in this day and age, everyone thinks that doing nothing is better than changing the world. You know what I mean? A lot of people are ready to just ride the wave and go,
And
and
and that,
that's how it is,
yeah, but the bulk of the people don't think they have the power. And that's what I'm saying about a leader. And so what I'm saying about you is you are a leader. You're using the context of leader in a little more of, I would call it coaching or mothering. I look at you as a leader from a standpoint that you know what's cool. You you hold yourself to your own account. You are a hard worker. You
I
are
don't know what's cool.
no, you do, and you're a good. You're a role model for someone that wanted to understand what being a brand is and building your brand. I mean, you're
I will say I'm a stepping stone of a role model because everybody that thinks I'm a role model and looks up to me, like they spend a couple real days with me, and then they're like, "Psh, I can do what he does." And then they go and they try it on their own. And 9 times out of 10, it's not a good thing because what I'm trying to do is build a community, especially now. Like as I'm getting older, I'm too tired to carry the flame by myself. And I don't really want to. Like because again, like I said, people come back and they bite the hand anyways. So and I'm not saying I don't want to be a better person and try to figure out how to help people without feeling so victimized, but I was just saying this the other day. I hate giving advice because then I have to be the guy that says I told you so whenever you refuse to take my advice. And it's not like I don't know where it comes from. It's not like I have all the experience points. It's like I've seen enough patterns and I have a keen autism that allows me to like just diarrhea mouth the truth. And it sucks because like I just was dealing with my own family, that I have a family member that has a baby coming next month, and she's young and her fiance is young, and they were going to get married in November, and they made the plans last November, but they also tried to live together. So things happen. And so here we are, Mother's Day, and she hasn't even had the baby. And something on TikTok told her that she should be celebrated as a mother, even though she hasn't given her birth yet. And and her 20-year-old fiance is like, I'm going to the water slides with my mom, and it's like I see everybody's wrong here, but also everybody's right, because she needs to shut up because it's not a baby yet. She's pregnant. She was invited to go to the water slides, but she's a hermit. So, like, when you choose to not be present, then you don't win. And you don't get to cry that you were cheated, because you didn't win when you didn't even show up. So I guess that's my biggest frustration is that like as much as I want to give, like right now I have this great crew. I got this kid Nerdy. And pretty much every time I hang out with him, he gets a gig that pays more money because I'm not paying him. I just give him like some food or like a beer or something. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, you need a soda before you go on. And I make sure the sound's there and I make sure that the stage is there. And I don't bring really. I try to bring an audience, but I can't bring every audience every show. But this guy, it doesn't matter if there's two people in the room. He'll walk out with a $300 gig for Easter weekend, or he'll walk out with a private gig for $200 to sing to somebody's mom on Mother's Day.
that's awesome.
And I'm not saying I did it, but it's an opportunity I created for this guy,
Yeah.
and it's not an opportunity I want to take a part of. It's like yeah, I could be a hoarder and be like, "Oh man, that should have been my gig. Oh, I should have had $350 by now." You know what I mean? But that's like selfish. That's not what I'm really doing it for. I'm doing it because I'm trying to be more like Captain EO. Do you remember him? Michael Jackson, he shot rainbows out of his fingers and turned angry people into happy people and made the crazy she was like a electrical witch, like actually came out and became like a beautiful lady. You know, I don't know. Like I'm Captain EO. Pew! Can you feel it? Can you feel it? You know, and like this kid, he doesn't put off the vibe that he's getting it, but I know he's getting it because like I suggested a song to him randomly, and I don't even do that for artists. I usually like I'm so sick of trying to help artists. I really like whenever I get a good idea, I just do it myself because like hell with them. You know what I mean? But like for him, he has this distinct sound, and I'm like, bro, have you ever heard this song? And here's what's crazy. It's a song I thought was Dolly Parton, but it's Olivia Newton-John. And then I go to look it up on YouTube, and it's actually Elvis. And the background vocalists are what stood out in my head because Olivia Newton-John's people mimicked Elvis's background vocals for this song, and it is Let Me Be There.
Oh
Let me
wow.
be there in the morning. And the background was like, let me be there in the night. You know what I'm saying? And that as a kid, I grew up remembering those vocals. Like I don't care that it was Olivia Newton-John. I thought it was Dolly Parton, you
Right.
know, but the make it right, you know, like all those Bowser, like the Sha Na Na Bowser, you know, backgrounds in there. I that was like my that was my gangster rap. You know what I mean? Like I literally would hang out my mom's car window. I'd put the 8 track of Big John, you know, the mining song,
Yeah.
Big John. That was my gangster track as a child. I lean out the window like a cholo. You know what I mean? And Mad Dog people, I'm listening to Big John right now. I might as well be Big John, you know, because that's what music does.
That was a
But
great song.
Nerdy has this song, has this way where I was like, dude, like whenever I first heard him, I called him One Man Weezer, but really he's like more sad than that. And so I like he redid like a Cheryl Crow song and he nerdied it, and I was like, oh dude, I like that song now because I hate Cheryl Crow, but I like the way he did it. And so I told him about Let Me Be There, and he heard the Elvis version and he goes, dude, that's a beautiful song,
Hmm.
thank you for showing me that. And he did it at the open mic just this last Monday and texted me at 11 o'clock at night, hey, I did that Elvis song you showed me and it really went over well. And I was like, sick. Like, I just love the fact that he's only calling me and telling me of all the cool things that he's getting because he's in my universe now. You
Right.
know what I mean? He's in the solar system of Buck Stallion. And again, I don't think it's really me because I'm not that self-centered. I'm not that what's it? Not narcoleptic. What's the narcissistic? but like
No,
I'm not
it's chronoleptic. It's chronoleptic. If
chronoleptic. But yeah, well, but I know what it is. I mean because it's being present to win,
right.
and the present is your only present.
So
Sorry, had to drop that on you.
you did
That's a heavy
you
one.
dropped it. It was heavy. You but big
You
bad.
didn't even hear
I listen.
it. You're like, oh, whatever, Buck.
No, the reason I record these is I don't even hear any of it. This is not
I
really.
got you.
Yeah, when you're as old as I am, you can't hear. You're just guessing by reading some lips. That's all I got.
Well, I'm gonna say it again for the cheap seats in the back of Ken's head. Being present is your only present. Okay? That's the only gift life gives is being present to win.
The only time I'll never be present is when someone says that, and I'm not kidding you. That's the only time. I'm present. Oh.
Bong. It's my mom's bell rung right there.
So Big Bad John, Jimmy Dean. Did you like 16 tons as well? By
Oh yeah, yeah. 16 ton was good. But but Big John was like a sad song.
oh
You know, he died
16
at the
tons
end.
wasn't too good either, man. That was kind of sad too. Kind of.
16 tons was more of like a it's more but it's more of like just like a I think of it as a railroad song, like a railroad, you know, Spike Hammer song.
Right.
16 tons.
Tons.
What do you
You
get?
kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I think it now actually Joe versus the volcano, and I'm not really even a fan of Tom Hanks anymore because I went on tour with Barry Sobel, and Barry Sobel is one of those guys that's been kind of coddled by Tom Hanks all these years,
Yeah.
and he was coddled by uh uh, what's his name? Rodney Dangerfield. I had to like mimic these people to like remember their names. But yeah, Rodney Dangerfield was the guy who found Barry Sobel, and then Tom Hanks kind of picked him up uh, during the filming of this movie called Punchline back in the '80s. And Barry Sobel he thinks he's a Beastie Boy. Like he destroys things. He acts like a immature child, and he's like, well, I'm 50 and he's like 20 years older than me. So he was 58 whenever was on tour with him, and I was doing the math and he's all, don't believe everything you see on Wikipedia. I'm like, okay, dude. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing what I'm seeing. Anyways, but yeah, like Tom Hanks, I don't like him because of Barry Sobel.
Well, we usually yank the show when people say things like this about Tom Hanks. I mean, this is a very pro Tom Hanks.
Oh,
No,
man.
no, the thing that sucks about this is I do talk to Tom Hanks and he thinks the world of you. And that's what this makes it awkward because
Lies. Lies. Tom Hanks doesn't ever talk to you, and he doesn't ever talk about me. There was a time whenever I was living in Huntington Beach, the Huntington Beach Entertainment Magazine was going to come interview me about the shows that I was putting on at this bar that doesn't even exist. It's a Panda Express now. But at the time he was he called me and said, "Hey, I'm running a little late because I just got this interview with Seth Rogen. I got to go do." And I go, "Oh yeah, tell Seth Rogen Buck Stallion said what up." And then he shows up for the interview later and I go, "Hey, so what's up?" Tell Seth Rogen I said what's up, and he goes, "Yeah, he didn't know who I was talking about." And the way he said it, I know he really asked him. I was like, "You idiot! Why would you ever do that? Like, what the hell?" Oh, Seth Rogen. This is like around the time of Pineapple Express, and I'm like, "Oh, Seth Rogen, yeah, that's my buddy. Yeah, tell him I said hey." Like it's so stupid. And then he did like whenever I said hey, you tell him I said hey. He's like, yeah, he didn't know who you were. Bong, like
That's
so
good stuff. Well, I will tell Tom Hanks, and you can call me a liar if you want. We talk a lot, and
I'd be cool with Chet. Chet seems like a pretty down to earth Hanks out of all of them.
yeah.
But Tom, no, I'm good.
All
He's
right. Well,
he's a
I
murderer.
you're
He's
putting
a
me in
murderer.
you're putting me in an awkward position with my relationship with Tom. So let's just
Well, are you seriously get out of that relationship? He killed Cappy in Arizona. Oh,
this
there's
is
like you know. Can I tell you? Can I tell you what, dude? Like I love you and I know that you're always fun, but sometimes like I see things on TV and I wonder how can somebody do that? How can somebody lie so much and spin things? Like I'm not saying you do. That's why I'm saying that's why I wanted to compliment you immediately because
like
I don't think that you spin things at all. You're very I mean other than saying
maybe
that
the
you
Tom Hanks I spend a little
okay,
bit.
might be a little bit of a lie.
There might be a
But
little.
it amazes me and I want to do it so bad because like I was listening because I'm on this radio station locally here 95.5 and the Central Valley voice of the Valley, but my show is called Cyber Stallion and it's retro wave stuff I just get off of YouTube. It's mostly public access type music or public use. But it's just thinking music because it doesn't have words. It's not telling you what to think about, because like whenever you're heartbroken, you turn on the radio, it's always like, now she's gone. Now you're gonna get a gun and go. Like it's like always programming us. And so like my music is kind of it's what I listen to regularly, and that's retro wave because there is no programming in it. It's like it's pumping, it's almost techno, but it's like that slow retro 80s kind of like Miami Vice like background music.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it because it gives me my Einstein time to think about what I really want to think about, rather than some girl that hurt my heart, or how I'm underappreciated, or I mean, whatever. Music is always like, especially the stuff that they force you to hear on the radio. It's either you're I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch. Like it's either that, or it's the extreme opposite. And it's like, when he hurt my heart and he broke my window, like, just it's just so stupid and pointless. So I do this Cyber Stallion show, but I like to listen to what else is on the radio, on my channel. I like to support it in that way. I guess I'm supporting it, but it's radio, so it's not like they get, hit points or play points, or streamings or anything like that. But I was listening to it, and they're just like, oh, and then now the government's doing this. It was some girl, Amerson, or Annie Anderson, or I don't know, Amy Amerson, or I don't know. But it was just ridiculous. Like some lady over in the East Coast, and she's just like, oh, and the government's gonna take our money and we're gonna die in the streets. And it's like she really believes this. And then she's got co-stars, and they're just like doubling down, and they're like, well, yeah, didn't you hear they're gonna cut our legs off and make us walk around and suck the lint off the streets? That's how they expect us to survive. And then they're gonna go around and shoot everybody's second born, because only the firstborn can be raised now. And these are like, it's extreme complete lies. And I just wish I could bullshit like that. I wish I could just come up with a fantasy story and then like try to drive it home, like, and have friends that would like double down with me and just be like, yeah, the world's gonna end and we're all gonna die in Nickelodeon slime, and like, and then all the foreigners are taking over, still. And I don't know, dude, it's just ridiculous. I can't listen to the news because I don't know who's telling the truth, because they're all lying. And I can't watch a podcast because then it's like somebody's opinion on how things are going. You know what I mean? And so, again, it's like I feel like I can't take in any media other than.
All right. So you admitted that I don't spin stuff and that I'm pretty much straight shooter, right? And we already cleaned up the Tom Hanks thing. I didn't talk to him. Okay. So
Yeah, you don't know Tom Hanks.
okay. So I'm gonna tell you this so you can say there's one channel you can get the real deal. And Ken told me straight up on a live show what the deal is on how things are. His opinion is pretty close to what I would call true north truth. Okay. So
Yeah, Compass.
so I'm gonna say, to sum it down, how I feel about the world is everything's pretty groovy. There you go. And thank you for being
Wow.
present for that. Thank,
Hey, that was a present. You know what I mean? I mean, here's the thing, like, and that's what I'm saying is like, it's the sky is falling. If you listen to the news, if you pay attention to these people that talk on talk shows on radio, like they like,
drink the Kool-Aid.
yeah, don't drink the Kool-Aid. I mean, unless it's your own Kool-Aid,
Yeah,
you
this
know?
this this Kool-Aid is actually straight up water, and it really keeps me hydrated. But more importantly, there's nothing I don't have to worry about what's in there because
I would, oh, I'll endorse this. This is my uh This is my water flavoring, and it makes it taste like Dole Whip from
really.
Disneyland. Oh, it's so fire! But it's water enhancer. Do not try to enhance dairy products with this, because it will curdle them immediately with whatever they've got in it. Because it's like, it's 0 calories and 0 sugar. So whatever. Let me see. It's probably the potassium. Yeah, potassium ascorbic acid. Like those things curdle, because I tried to put it in, I thought, ooh, that would be good in like, I put it in something creamy. Like it was like a creamy strawberry shake or something. And all of a sudden I had these weird shards. Like they were like stabbing my tongue. I was like, what the hell is it? It's like, because this is fake pineapple, but do you know real pineapple is like mega little, like it's like, it's almost silica uh things. It's like little
Fibers.
fibers, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what the sting is. When you're eating a pineapple, you're like, that's fruity. No, dude, it's like stabbing you. Another thing you shouldn't eat is the kidney shaped peanuts. What are those called? The
Cashews.
cashew
Cashews.
cashews, dude. Cashews are from the poison ivy family.
I know they are.
Yeah, not a lot of people do, but now
Yeah.
we're saying it
Yeah,
on
because
this
if you
podcast.
eat the shell of it, you're out.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they have to clean them, extract them, all that good stuff. You know, we should do a show together one time where we're just using words that we don't get to remember. I love that you're like those little nut things. They go around, and I'm like,
Cashew. Well, dude, the thing is that I have a personal issue with the cashew, because I hate Dane Cook. And a lot of people will say, "Wow, you hate people a lot for being a happy person." But the thing is that I just hate people that suck. And Dane Cook, whenever he came to Modesto, he sucked. And whenever I've seen him at the Laugh Factory, he sucked. And like everything, ever since his first
oh boy.
stand up that he ever did, like I liked his first stand up, but then
So
like
I have something to say from something 3 minutes ago when you're talking about you
But Dane
can't.
Cook does a cashew joke where
Does it?
he puts it on the tip of his dick and he flips it into his mouth.
Oh, okay.
Don't
That
use that.
don't use that. So you said it about a couple minutes ago. You say I don't like listening to news. I don't know who to listen to. They all have opinions and it's all lies, etc. I just want to say this. This is an epiphany that I'm getting from you that I'm bringing back to you. Okay, and this is serious.
Yeah.
Every single one of those people with their opinions and their lies, that's their truths. And if you look at the quote by Henry Ford, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. They're proving that's going to be their truth. So they're going to live that horrible truth.
Right.
And so
I
the
get you.
so if you can get free of those truths you don't like or want, you can find a truth you do like. And if I think the world is groovy, guess what? I might actually be in denial that there's some real problems, but honestly, I might enjoy life a lot too.
Yeah.
And God
Yeah.
doesn't have this
No.
thing. He doesn't have this thing where you're going through this journey. He says you got to be really miserable, and some people like to be miserable every single day. So
No, for sure. Like my parents, they pretty much have a philosophy that if there is a broken one on the shelf that can be purchased, they got it. You know what I mean? And and it's like a weird superstition. I'm the other way around. I'm like, if I break it quick, then it wasn't a valuable product. I consider myself more of a consumer reports tester. You know what
yes,
I mean?
yeah.
Whereas they consider themselves the victor of a malnourished product.
I
You know?
want to say that I have to go have dinner with my
Oh,
son.
it's so late there. I forget.
It's
Yeah.
late, but no, there's another reason. I didn't know the show was going to last over 6 minutes. I was pretty sure when we started. I was like, "There's no way he's got enough
You
material to
didn't
go."
think I was gonna be here, or you were like, I don't even want to be there.
No, no, but you missed the last 7 times. So why would I think the eighth time is going to be the lucky charm?
No, I try. I call. I didn't know that we were gonna do it like this because whenever you say, "Yeah, you should call," then I'm like, "Oh, okay," and then I call and you don't answer because you're
You
on a
know,
call with
I did a
somebody else.
show like this with a really cool dude, Daryl Hulse, Hulse. We were just talking and rapping, and it was about 30, 45 minutes in. I said, "So when are we starting the show?" And he goes, "No, we've been on, bro."
Yeah, yeah. No, I do that to people. They get really mad whenever I do that to people because
Oh,
they're like, you can't, because they become like those anti-auditors. They're like,
yeah.
you can't film in public. You know what I mean? Like, shut up. Like, yeah, yeah. No, dude, you agreed to be on this. So like, this is the pot. Like, we're doing it.
We are
Yeah,
doing it. So
yeah, yeah.
here's the deal. I want to have you back on the show, and I'm going to be kind of breaking a rule. So honestly, the show is supposed to be shorter when I'm bringing you back with your big book. So
Okay.
we're going to consider this our friendship and 20 years of catching up. But we're going to do your book if you want to. I love you so much. I mean,
Is that what we're gonna call it? Book if you want to.
yeah.
That's
Oh
a
no,
good one.
we got
Buck Stallion. Book if you want to.
book if you want to. Oh, and then have
Oh!
and have the subtitle from the from that hip hop song we heard. You are what you.
Oh, get what like you feel. Get like what you feel like. Get like what you feel like. Oh, hey. So here, I was gonna play the Ken and Buck song. Hold on,
All right.
because we gotta get going. I know.
Well, no, we got about 5 more minutes. We got 5 more minutes,
Okay.
if not even. We got 10 seconds. Don't worry about it.
Oh, good. No pressure.
Anyone ever tell you have a great like silhouette side to you? I mean, I would have done the show the whole way that way.
Oh, a
No,
profile. My profile is on point. Let me see. Oh my God. Hold on. I'm refreshing the page. It
Thank
got
you.
it. So
And by the way, thank you for
this from.
no, thank you for refreshing it. That was very kind of you.
Oh yeah, no, it smells better too. Uh, there's nothing here yet. What is happening?
No, never has so little been said in my show than right now.
This is crazy. Oh,
two
there we go.
guys, two
Okay,
guys that like to talk, and all we're doing is saying how many refreshings do you have to do before this refreshing
here
refreshes.
we go. Here it goes. So you still live in Baltimore, right?
Between Baltimore and DC,
Okay,
close enough to Baltimore.
fair enough.
I mean, I'm a Raven fan.
I mean,
You
that
know,
kind
you know when people say that they're a Raven fan, I go, "Yeah, a Raven fan of what?"
of. Dude, this isn't playing. This is
Yeah, you know
sad.
what? We can put in the comment section.
Oh, here it goes.
But
Signal shines.
Can you hear it?
A flash of light, a lens of voice. He made the chaos a place of choice. He spun the records, turned the tide, lost it all, but he still climbed. With every fall, he drew the line, smiling out into time.
it's getting a little bit pitched out at this point.
It's,
So
I'm trying to see if I can get it to.
can we put the link up though to hear it?
Yeah, I can. I can. Well, yeah, I'll post it. Here, hold on. I'll post it on archive.org and I'll send
Okay.
you the link. That's the
Okay.
best way to share. If
Yeah,
you,
I want to build
so
your
you
YouTube
know.
channel. I want to build your YouTube channel too. Because
Yeah, that'd be dope. Everybody trips out that it's only 318 people or whatever it is, but it
you know what I
hasn't
tell
really
people?
grown in
Yeah,
20 years.
I tell people that it's missing the K. I always say it's missing the K at the end. So don't worry about it. I got you.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. That's a good, yeah, I like that.
So the final part of the show is the programming, and I think because you missed the last 7 shows, you've never really remembered that the programming at the end is how did Buck Stallion get programmed? And so I asked 5 questions, and these 5 questions
Okay.
are true for every single person. If you ask these questions, you're telling the audience how you kind of made yourself. Got it?
This is the tells. I got you.
So no elaboration needed. Just it's kind of
Okay.
like I ask questions,
try.
you answer.
I'll do the best I can.
And even if you don't, you got a second chance when we put your book out. Here we go.
Okay.
What book changed your life?
Oh, The Giver.
Nice. The Go Giver, the Go Giver, or the Giver?
No, The Giver. It's right back here. Actually, I keep it behind my Yoda, my baby Yoda.
Oh, is it? And it's kind of stapled there.
No, it's inside. It's like a little Swedish mailbox. Hold on.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Hold on. I'll get it. Oh, where'd it go? Somebody took it out.
And by the way, I want to thank you for wearing drawers.
Hey, I don't normally wear drawers. No, I don't know where it went. Somebody
That
took
would
it
have
out.
been, no, that would have been hilarious if you didn't know that your shirt was not covering everything. All right,
Could you see my tidy whities?
they're cute as hell. I mean, seriously, you got.
I got those in Vegas because I had to wear like 7 pairs of underwear because I got beat by a bondage professional like a
Oh wow,
S&M
yeah.
chick for a bit I was doing, and she was whooping my ass. I did it for 3 days for 4 hours each day,
Oh my
and
gosh,
the second day I was getting welts, and so I was like, I need to get some underwear, and so I went and bought like a 12-pack and wore 4 pair,
that's
and it
awesome.
still hurt, still got bruised.
You got
Yeah.
stories, man. You got
Shout
stories.
out to Indecline.
All right, so next, and by the way, we've just taken all the time for all 5
Oh, The
questions.
Giver. Sorry.
Right. No, you're beautiful. Who's the author?
I don't remember. It was given to me by somebody that was very much a mentor to me.
You're kind of doing the Steve Martin again because he says, my people ask me how I got so successful, and they come to me and they see how much success I've had in my life, and they're like, "What is your secret?" And he says, "Well, every single day, my grandmom she would say this thing every single day. And when I got breakfast, she'd say it to me. We went to school, she dropped me off, and she just could not almost say anything but this. And I guess you guys would like to hear what it is. And the audience is like, yeah, tell us. And he goes, always, no, never. No, it is. It's always carry a bag in your car for litter. And if it gets filled up, just throw it out the window. And that was his whole but the funniest part of it was that he'd go back and forth. Was it always or was it never? Because you just
Never. Yeah. Because it's two totally different outcomes, right? Yeah. Always.
and,
No. Is it
because
never?
you were like the giver. This is the most important book of my life. I read it every day. I mean, I could not live without this book. And you're like, yeah, I don't know who the author is. So that was just
I
awesome.
don't. No. I don't. Like, I
No,
don't even
no,
remember
but
who
what's
wrote the
cool is you can
first.
say the giver, and I don't give a damn who the author is. Like you could
Yeah, it
really,
doesn't matter because
yeah,
I didn't read any of his other books,
yeah,
like no, I will say also another influential one for me, big time, was the Four Agreements, especially as an entertainer,
yeah.
because and I would say that that's probably more of a good tool. The Giver was just personal, it was somebody that mattered to me, gave it to me, and so I read it with that heart in mind. But I would
Isn't
say
it
like,
funny that the giver was taken?
yeah.
I mean, you had it there, and someone took it.
Yeah, no, that's what's crazy. I don't know.
I mean,
I
whoever has it, you can tell them that you were talking about the giver, and they're
I
the
feel like they were cleaning or something. I don't know. But it was
no.
right
But
there
this
behind
is
me.
all. This is probably 3 or 4 chapters in your book. I mean, how the giver
Yeah.
was such a big part of your life, and you found out who had it, and it was the taker. The taker had the giver.
No, well, the guy that gave it to me has passed away.
No, but not
But
him,
he,
but whoever
but
did have it.
he was also one of the people that convinced me that I was more of a Han Solo than a Luke or a Darth Vader,
Hmm.
you know.
I would agree with that.
And so I was cool with that.
Yeah, you should be
I,
cool with that.
I didn't think I wanted to be a Han Solo. I was so worried about what Luke's problem was,
They
because
wouldn't. They wouldn't give that part to Tom Hanks. That's how cool you are.
no. But hey, but they almost gave it to what's his name? From Escape from New York, Pliskin.
Yeah.
Pliskin almost got that
Who
Han
was it?
Solo. Dude, he was an old time Disney kid.
Yeah, I know.
God, I can't think of his name right now. He does the Big Trouble in Little China. He was
Yeah.
Snake Plissken in Escape from LA and New York.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who it was too. It was Christopher Walken or something like that.
No, Mike.
Kurt
See,
Russell. Oh,
Kurt
Kurt Russell.
Russell. I
Yes.
almost said Michael Douglas,
Yeah,
but
Kurt
yeah,
Russell.
Kurt
Yeah.
Russell. Kurt Russell.
All right. So the next question, we might actually go 2 more days with how long these questions are taking. This is supposed to take 4 minutes tops. Okay, here we go.
Killing it.
What song will get you going?
Right now, it is Let Me Be There.
Okay. What song before that? I'm just curious. Let me tell you the song one that you
Like
played.
what was my daily song?
No, it's Creedence Clearwater Revival. You played a badass version of it when we were there at the Modesto event. Um,
Oh,
Round My Back Door or whatever. I mean, I don't know what it was, but it was a mashup. It was
yeah.
a mashup.
I would say really like I listened to a lot of Harry Connick Jr. He was probably the biggest influence for me as an entertainer
Yeah, he's cool.
because I was in high school when he came out with his 21 album,
Hmm.
and I started learning how to play the piano better because of him, because it was, and also it made the chicks melt.
Yeah.
But I got into music mostly because I wanted to do public access TV, and I had to have original scores. And so I just started recording stuff, and
How do you get hiccups like 1 hour?
I just now got them. Yeah, I think it's
No.
because I haven't taken my heart meds yet.
Yeah, but I mean, what timing though? 1 hour and 20 minutes. Like we're in the last two questions. You're like, I'm gonna get hiccups right now.
No, and I think it's just a hunger hiccup.
Okay, I've never had a hunger hiccup.
Oh, I get them.
That's a
I think
book. I'm gonna do a book called The Hunger Hiccups.
it's a
All right.
And,
Last two questions. Last two
okay.
questions. If we ever get there before you
I
have other
promise I'll try.
propulsions. Yeah, exactly. um, who is your hero? Do you know what would throw me for a loop? I mean,
Hmm.
see, this would throw me for a loop if you said Tom Hanks right now. If you
No, man. No, I would say like my parents.
okay.
I
Who would
think both my.
who
I
would you
know
like to
that's
meet?
a lame answer,
No,
but
it's not lame because I do the backup when that's happens. Who would you like to meet you haven't met?
I can't. Johnny Cash is dead.
No, okay, then you can say, "Can I bring someone back from the dead?" You get to do these things in this
Oh,
show.
I can do that.
This
Oh,
show,
can I
no,
bring
this is
somebody
the
back
key.
from?
Yeah, the Dr. Smiley show lets smiles happen, so everything's a
Oh,
possibility.
well, I don't know. Like, I
Johnny
feel like
Cash
I've
is.
met a lot of people. I've met a lot of people that I wanted to meet.
Who's one of your favorite people you met?
Riff Raff was really cool. And I got to hang out with him like three different times. The Red Elvises are really tight. Igor, he's
Hmm.
awesome. Um, I got to hang out, and he's a big fan, or he was a big fan until he passed away. Oh my God.
Well, I recently got to meet Matt Sorum, the drummer for Guns N' Roses. I would like to do.
Oh,
I'd like to
is
go.
he your hero?
He's not my hero, but he became a big influence. I didn't really know his name or who he was, but when I heard him speak, he's a dynamic speaker. He's a fantastic storyteller and cool dude. Here I'll give a shout out to what he looks like as well. But you know, you don't know when someone will have such an impact on you, and he just was really a cool dude, very cool dude.
Oh, I saw that picture with you and him. Yes.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have called you a hero, but man, I'm telling you, you're a solid friend. You are a good guy, and you're one of the people I'd say, yeah, I'm glad I met him. Really glad. So, last question for you: what quote do you live by?
Yes. What code?
No quote. Well, the quote is like a
Oh,
code.
quote.
Yeah.
My quote that and it's driving me crazy lately. Um, and that was um being present. You don't win if you're not present. Being your present is your only present.
Okay, so I think you should. This is me coaching you, and I should do this when you have such a beautiful quote that you think you have as a beautiful quote. It's you should
Yeah.
start with always, no, never, no, it is always present.
Yeah.
So how do people contact you, support you, hire you, love you?
Um, well, I would say like Instagram, I check.
Just
Obviously
the
if you
whole
follow me first, it's easier
so the
to
original
get
Buck Stallion.
original Buck Stallion, yeah. Um, no, Ellington Jordan was who I was gonna tell you. He Ellington Jordan wrote I'd rather go blind for that Etta James made famous. And I opened for him at a show in Fresno, and he couldn't start his first two songs because he laughed, because he was laughing from my set,
Yeah.
and he had me come up and he gave me a hug and he said, "Dude, that's the best damn thing I ever saw." And then Too Short, like that same year, said I was the first rock star he had ever seen in his life,
Hmm.
and and then another rapper from the Midwest, he told me that I'm gonna blow up one of these days if I ever get with a good rapper.
You would.
And
You would, no doubt about it.
someday I will. Someday I'll do that.
Who would be the rapper that you'd want to um hang and go
I
with?
don't know. Again, like I've met so many people. I've met so many people that I would have looked up to had they had not turned out to be total dipshits in person. You know, Vanilla Ice was cool in person, and
Yeah.
a lot of people were telling me he was a piece of shit. And dude, him and I clicked like right away.
Yeah, he's cool.
Um, we were cool. Um, dude, like I said, like there's a lot of legends. I don't think you should ever meet your heroes. I don't think you should ever meet your idols. I don't think that you should. I actually grew up without going to church, but I joined a church group for the girls in junior high, and
Mhm.
I stayed until mid high school for the girls. But then the church started coming down on me for dating girls.
Hmm.
But I was like always a lead, and one of the songs that we would do is called "Down with the Idols," and it was one of those things that I really remember, like, and it stuck with me. I think so. I guess going back to those answers, that's like a song that kind of stuck with me because it became kind of a fabric of my life where I just never really appreciate. I stopped taking on idol, type people. Like I found people that were physically in my presence that were actually helping me versus like, oh, Elton John wrote this song that really connected with me. Like, I don't know. It's kind of the difference between posting a picture of you eating a burger at a locally owned hamburger spot and then you taking a picture of your plate at Denny's or BJ's or some big, Texas Roadhouse chain. They don't need your help. They don't need you to take a picture. They don't need you to advertise for them and tell Starbucks what a great mocha latte they make. You know what I mean? They don't need that help. But do you know who needs the help? Is the person right there in your own neighborhood.
Right.
And I think that that's, again, that's kind of like my philosophy is like it goes back with the being present, is your only present, but also like down with the idols. Like, let's quit putting, like, dude, we just lost our A&W, which granted is a chain, but it was a 1950s something franchise that had been here since the town really turned into a village.
Wow.
And we just lost it because somebody from LA called and asked if they had blind person internet or some, you know what I mean, some weird shit that people in LA are suing for, and they can just, as if you don't have it they can call, and if you don't have it then they can file a lawsuit. So for like $10,000 we lost our local A&W that was owned for, locally for 50 years or 70 years or whatever. And then the same city councilman that's bitching about that online or on LinkedIn is also promoting the new Nations burger we just got on the main strip. And I'm like, dude, like the restaurant that I met you at is gone. Like that restaurant has been bought and sold 3 times over, but it's always local businesses and they always kind of do the same thing. They're, none of them are really trying to think out of the box or
Right.
do anything different. They're just like, my restaurant's gonna do the best. And it's like, okay, and I want to support local businesses, but not stupid ones that just keep going to the same cursed building and failing like the last guy. It's like, oh, this is gonna be different. I put white couches in the lobby. Shut up. Like, but like to be like, oh, we're losing our local tavern. But hey, good news, we've got a new Tahoe Joe's bar, opening up down by Costco. And it's like everybody's like, yeah, let's support Costco. Let's support Tahoe Joe's. Let's support Red Lobster. Let's support all of these can't sink businesses. Let's give Walmart our money instead of the little guy who actually makes half the products. You know what I mean? At the weird hippie store down the street, or I don't know. I used to like to shop. I used to shop easily, but now I'm just like, dude, like if you're not supporting your neighbor's business, then you're really kind of you're turning your own community into a turf is
Do you
what
know
you're
why I
doing
won't? Do you know why I won't shop at the general store?
at Dollar General.
No, at the general store,
Oh, the general store.
because you can't buy anything specific.
Dad
Hey, I want to congratulate you. You're the
joke.
I've done 600. I've done 600 shows, and you're the first show and only show that the culminating 5 questions still led to another show.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I apologize
You
for
can't
that.
apologize because I love you.
I love you, man. No,
So
thanks for having me.
and I want to have you back, and I'm going to break every rule because it's supposed to be short shows, and the big show is the big reveal. But guess what? This is 20 years in the making. 8 times you stood me up. I mean, this had to be a big show.
Only 15 times I stood you up. How could I stand you up 25 times? I mean, what kind of piece of shit doesn't answer his phone 50 times in a row? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, in your defense, though, you were dead at the time, so let's give you a
I
little bit.
have died. Well, and dude, I will say having a heart attack last year and actually almost dying for like a month, I was dealing with that and I didn't know. I was just going to getting massages every week and taking like super fruit red powders, and fish oil. Like I was doing everything to keep myself alive, but I didn't know I was actually dying. Um, but now that I've realized that I was supposed to
Wait,
be.
wait. You're saying that comment was that it was contributing to your heart attack?
No, 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 no. It was keeping me alive. It
Okay,
was,
got it.
and I didn't even know I was dying because I had had a heart attack in April 13th of last year, but I didn't go to the hospital until May 15th.
Ah,
because I didn't want to ruin Mother's Day, but my kidneys were killing me, and so I had to go to ER, and they were like, "Yeah, you've had a heart attack. You're gonna stay here for a few days." Ended up being there for a month, and so like, and I really didn't think much of it at the time. I was just kind
how
of
do you know?
living.
Did you know you had a heart attack when you had a heart attack?
No, no, I thought I had night terrors or was having some weird anxiety attack like an adult or something. I
Okay,
thought I was being an adult. I thought I had an anxiety attack, like or a panic attack,
but it was a
because
heart attack.
but it was a heart attack, yeah, and I didn't even know because it wasn't. It didn't feel like in my chest. It just felt like I couldn't breathe. And as soon as I sat up, my heart could work because the blockage was gone. And yeah, I'm just gonna say though something. I mean, I just turned 49 on May 12th, which is actually 50, as you know. It's day. I'm 2 days. I'm 52 days. I'm 50 years old and 2 days. So I get my award whenever I finish the 50 or the 1 year at 50, and then
Okay,
and then you call me 50 whenever I finish my 50th year, because nobody gets a zero birthday. You know
right,
what I mean? It's like nobody celebrates zero. So you're when you're 18 months old, you're actually a year and a few months, but nobody says that. They don't say that until you're like two,
right.
right? So in the same light, I'm already accepting that I'm 50. But these are bonus years. I'm not supposed to be alive, Ken. And so everything I can do to actually treat it like a bonus, I'm gonna do. Like,
Oh, like a present, like you put it.
yeah, no, it's the gift. It's the gift that keeps giving life,
Yeah.
until it takes it back
Well,
and it
let's not
returns it.
no, let's not go back to your book being the giver and taker. Okay.
No, we were gonna call it
No,
book.
I'm talking about your book was the giver and someone took it. I just can't believe that.
Oh, I know. It's weird
I
because
mean,
it literally was just I looked at it, like I physically looked at it, and
and,
now
and I'm looking, I'm trying to see it, and you're
and
like,
there's a towel. There's a towel in the place of the book. So maybe somebody was dusting in there and they forgot.
yeah, but and the thing is, you were like, you can't see it. Let me show you my underwear. I mean, it was awesome.
Well, hopefully you'll edit that out. I don't
No,
know.
I'm gonna put Buck Stallion on your underwear. Don't worry about
Oh, good.
that.
Appreciate
Hey,
that.
by the way, the one of the likes already on the live show is from that Daryl Hulse, the guy who we just talked for a long time. And I said, so I know we're having a great time and all, but when we started the show, he goes, dude, we're doing it. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, this goes down as breaking all the
We're doing it.
Yeah, you crushed it. And by the way, I love the fact that you co-brand with Justin AED. I just want to give you a little plug there too.
Oh no, so that is yeah, so AED is actually the yeah, I didn't realize that was there the whole time. Shit.
Yeah, but
Uh
the good news is that you are branding for that too. That's beautiful.
yeah, so I do LiDAR scans. That's another one of my career paths is I do LiDAR scanning.
I was
Uh
almost afraid to bring it up because I knew it could start another show.
yeah, I'm all damn it. Start over. Start over.
No, that we're gonna edit that there's underwear there and all kinds of other crazy stuff.
Okay. All right.
All right, love you, brother. This is the
Love you,
Dr.
man.
Smiley
Thank you
Show.
again for the opportunity, dude. Really.
Yeah, and I do want to do your book and really show the world how great you are. You're awesome.
Thank you, dude. You're awesome, man. Thank you.